We gaze upon our planet today, teeming with life in all its diverse forms. Yet this world was not always as we know it. The ground beneath our feet whispers tales of a distant past. Dinosaurs, colossal beasts, their skeletons towering over us in museums. But what if these behemoths were not all they seemed? What if the story etched in stone and bone was not entirely accurate? Our journey takes us back millions of years. We are taught these creatures left an indelible mark on Earth. From the towering Tyrannosaurus Rex to the long-necked Brachiosaurus, massive skeletons stand as silent witnesses to a prehistoric age. Yet a closer examination reveals a narrative not as straightforward. The scientific community assures us dinosaurs existed. They point to a wealth of evidence carefully collected and analyzed. Fossils, radiometric dating, and rock layers confirm their existence. But what if there was more to the story? What if this evidence was not as conclusive as believed? This is not denial, but healthy skepticism. It is a call to question, delve deeper, and demand more from the evidence. Join me on this journey, challenging our understanding of the past. The foundation of dinosaur existence rests on fossils, radiometric dating, and sedimentary layers. Fossils are the most tangible evidence of dinosaurs. From massive femurs to delicate skeletons, fossils paint a vivid picture of a lost world. Museums display these reconstructions, inspiring awe. Radiometric dating confirms the antiquity of these remains. Sedimentary layers corroborate this timeline. The deeper the layer, the older the rock and fossils. This principle of superposition provides irrefutable proof. The evidence appears overwhelming. While the discovery of massive skeletons, seemingly belonging to creatures far larger and more impressive than any we see today, is undeniably compelling, a closer examination of this fossil evidence reveals a number of inconsistencies and unanswered questions. The first, and perhaps most glaring issue, is the fragmentary nature of these fossils. Rarely, if ever, do we find complete skeletons. Instead, paleontologists are often working with a jumble of bones, often representing only a small fraction of the creature's complete skeleton. The reconstruction process itself is fraught with potential for error and subjective interpretation. With so many missing pieces, paleontologists must rely on educated guesses and comparisons to other, often vastly different species to fill in the gaps. This introduces a significant degree of subjectivity into the process, raising the question of just how accurate these reconstructions truly are. Furthermore, the vast majority of dinosaur fossils are found in specific locations, often concentrated in areas known as fossil beds. While this is not inherently suspicious, it does raise the question of why these creatures seem to have congregated in such specific areas. Could there be alternative explanations for these concentrated fossil deposits? The possibility, however remote, must be considered. Imagine a jigsaw puzzle, one with thousands of pieces, many of them missing. Now imagine trying to assemble this puzzle without the benefit of a complete picture to guide you. This, in essence, is the challenge facing paleontologists when they attempt to reconstruct dinosaur skeletons from fragmentary fossil remains. While they bring to bear years of training and a deep understanding of anatomy and paleontology, the fact remains that a significant degree of speculation is involved in this process. Take, for example, the iconic image of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, its massive jaws agape in a fearsome roar, its tiny arms seemingly out of proportion with its massive body. This image, so ingrained in our collective consciousness, is based largely on incomplete skeletal remains and artistic interpretation. We cannot know for certain what these creatures looked like, how they moved, or even what sounds they made. The very act of reconstructing a dinosaur skeleton becomes an exercise in interpretation, a delicate dance between scientific evidence and artistic license. The choices made by paleontologists, from the positioning of individual bones to the overall posture of the creature, can dramatically alter our perception of these animals. One of the most perplexing aspects of the dinosaur narrative is the discrepancy in preservation between these supposed behemoths and other, far more delicate creatures from the same prehistoric era. We find exquisitely preserved insects, their delicate wings and intricate body structures intact, often trapped in amber, a fossilized tree resin. These tiny creatures, so easily crushed and decomposed, have somehow survived the ravages of time in remarkable detail. Yet, when it comes to dinosaurs, we are asked to believe that only their massive bones have withstood the test of time. Their skin, muscles, organs, even their delicate eggshells are rarely found. And when they are often in a poor state of preservation. This begs the question, if delicate insects can be preserved in such exquisite detail, why are dinosaur remains, particularly the soft tissues, so comparatively rare and poorly preserved? This disparity in preservation raises serious questions about the conventional timeline and the processes by which these fossils are formed. Section 6. Locked away. The lack of public access to fossils. A fundamental principle of scientific inquiry is the ability to replicate and verify results. In the realm of paleontology, this would entail allowing qualified independent researchers access to original fossil specimens. However, in the case of dinosaur fossils, this access is often restricted. The most significant and complete specimens are often housed in museum collections, accessible only to a select few. This lack of transparency raises concerns about the potential for confirmation bias and the suppression of alternative interpretations. Furthermore, the public, those who ultimately fund much of this research through museum admissions and government grants, are denied the opportunity to examine these fossils firsthand. We are asked to accept the interpretations of institutional authorities without being able to verify the evidence for ourselves. This lack of public access creates an environment of secrecy and mistrust, further fueling skepticism about the validity of the dinosaur narrative. Section 7. Alternative narratives, challenging conventional wisdom. While the dominant narrative of dinosaurs holds sway, it is not without its critics. Some researchers propose alternative explanations for the existence of dinosaur fossils. Flood geology suggests a catastrophic global flood could account for rapid fossilization. Others question radiometric dating methods, citing inconsistent results. Before concluding, it's important to address the incomplete DNA structures that are often assumed. Just like the cases of Nebraska Man and Piltdown Man, these structures are far older and have far less proof to support such huge assumptions. Hollywood and many others have profited immensely from these stories. Interestingly, no farmers or people working in caves have ever come across such fossils. Only very specific individuals, like those involved in the Bone Wars, have made these discoveries. Even Rothschild was part of this narrative. Section 8. A call for openness, transparency, and independent verification. This exploration of the dinosaur narrative is not about denying the existence of these creatures, but about advocating for a more open and transparent approach to scientific inquiry. If the evidence for dinosaurs is as strong as we are told, then it should be able to withstand scrutiny and debate. Restricting access to fossils, limiting independent verification, and dismissing alternative interpretations only serve to erode public trust and hinder scientific progress. We must encourage a culture of open inquiry where challenging the status quo is seen not as heresy but as a necessary part of the scientific process. Only through rigorous debate, open access to evidence, and a willingness to consider alternative viewpoints can we hope to arrive at a more complete and accurate understanding of our world, both past and present. Section 9. Conclusion, a journey of inquiry, not denial. Our journey into the world of dinosaurs has taken us down a path less traveled, a path that questions long-held assumptions, and challenges the very foundations of our understanding of the past. This is not a journey of denial, but one of healthy skepticism, a call to look beyond the surface and demand more from the evidence presented to us. The goal is not to prove or disprove the existence of dinosaurs, but to foster a spirit of critical thinking and to encourage a more nuanced and informed understanding of the complexities of paleontological research. The evidence for dinosaurs, while compelling, is not without its flaws and inconsistencies. By acknowledging these limitations and encouraging open debate, we can move towards a more complete and accurate picture of our planet's prehistoric past. Let us embrace the spirit of curiosity and inquiry that drives true scientific discovery. Let us question, let us explore, and let us never cease to marvel at the mysteries of the natural world, both past and present.